Hey everybody, happy Saturday. It's your girl, the Brooke Ashley, and today we are here to discuss The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Season 5, Episode 15. And before we get into it, let me just say, Salt Lake City, this has been a phenomenal season, and the finale is next week, and I know that I'm going to sob. So please get the Kleenex ready for me because I probably will cry in that last review. I think I will because this season has just been fun. I mean, there are no words to talk about how great this season has been. I mean, this is stuff that we've been wanting for years. I know that people feel like the whole Housewives franchise is dead, but SLC still has life, and I have been here for it. Um 15 episodes in, and every single episode has been flawless. They have not had a bad episode yet. They are shooting at 100% at the free throw line. If follow basketball, then you know some of the terms, but yeah, this has been flawless. Okay. This is like Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Steph Curry, like all got together, had a baby, and I mean, just phenomenal. But yeah, SLC, you guys, I'm really going to cry. I really wish that this season was like another 7 episodes. I could go for a 22 episode season. That's how amazing SLC has been. Y'all, yes, not one filler episode. SLC is that girl. Yep, they're my favorite right now. Oh, we have South Africa in the house. Oh my gosh, hey, I'm happy that you're here. Hey, Brooke, I'm so sad the finale is next week. Same here. I'm going to cry. I'm going to cry. Is this a safe space? If so, I actually love Britney. She's wild and funny. Don't whack me, y'all. I'm not going to whack you at all. Britney is the perfect amount of delusional, crazy, and just straight up insane. And that is needed. But we will be whacking Britney this entire recap. Be clear about that. Now, before we get started, I do want to say for all of my Los Angeles subscribers, please know that I am praying for you. The fires are devastating. My heart is breaking with every single post. I've seen the GoFundMe's, just trying to support everybody. So y'all, please, let's support our Los Angeles subscribers and all the people in Los Angeles who are affected by the fires. It's been devastating. So my heart goes out to all of y'all. I hope you guys are staying safe. This is beyond sad. I hope that the fires stop. To see homes that were built years ago, family memories, and now they're gone, burnt to a crisp. It's just beyond heartbreaking. Sending you all so much love, sending you so many prayers. I've posted up some links if you need to go somewhere to get, help, resources. I know my other fellow content creators have posted up links if you want to help out. But yeah, all my love to all my Los Angeles subscribers. And please know that I'm praying for you guys, sending you so much love. Oh, wow, you're in LA. Yes. Thank you for being here. I hope that you're okay. I'm praying for you and your family. Please stay safe. And it's just devastating to watch. But just know that I'm praying for you and sending you so much love. Thank you, Brooke. I haven't slept for more than an hour at a time in days, still living in fear. Appreciate your words. Well, I can't even imagine how you're feeling. I just feel like it's such a loss for words. My heart really goes out to you. Please know I love you. I'm thinking about you. I'm praying for you and your family. Please stay safe. And it's just been, it's something that you've never seen before. And so many people are saying that this is the worst fire that LA has ever had. But I'm praying that the fires stop. I heard that one of the fires was contained by 6%. I don't know. I guess that's okay or that's good. But just know that I'm praying, and I hope that this is rectified immediately. But yes, I just want to say, y'all, again, sending y'all so much love in LA, and I hope that my videos can just help spark some joy. And without further ado, let's just get right on into this recap because, guys, I have a lot to say. Now, one more thing. If you are a Bronwyn fan, I think that it's time for us to be honest and say that Bronwyn has let us down for the last 7 episodes. And I hate to say it, but despite how I feel about Heather, Heather was low-key right about Bronwyn. Now, that's not to say that Heather does not have her own jealousies and her own issues towards Bronwyn, but a broken clock can be right, what, twice a day? That's how the saying goes. But Heather was not completely off base. There is something a bit weird about Bronwyn, and we need to talk about it. And I'm disappointed in Bronwyn. I feel like Bronwyn is clicking down for me, and I need it to stop. But she's going out sad, and Miss Bronwyn, this is not the way to go. And a quick side note, if you watched Whitney on Watch What Happens Live the other night, she said that after the reunion, they all went out to eat except for Bronwyn and Mary. Now, when it comes to Mary, we know that the ladies love Mary. They're low-key scared of her. So I think that Mary probably opted out of dinner to go to her room, her hotel room, just decompress and relax. She probably did not want to be bothered with them. But when it comes to Bronwyn not going to that dinner, I feel like Bronwyn was not invited, because they don't like her. And Whitney even said that Bronwyn had a lot to answer for at this reunion, and I'm not surprised to hear that. Yeah, she did. They said she had a very rough reunion. Yep. I like Bronwyn only on the first episode. It was downhill after that. Yeah. Oh, Bronwyn has really... Oh, Bronwyn, you had such a strong start, and to go out like this, I feel bad for you. So we open up this episode with everybody getting ready. It's the next morning, and Lisa's out on her balcony eating breakfast. And she says that last night she did not sleep well. She took everything that was said at the dinner table and she was thinking through everything. So she goes on to say that she's still really upset and hurt. And just when she thought that things could not get any worse after dinner, Bronwyn came into her room and told her that she, Angie, Whitney, and Heather had a very messed up conversation about her. We see the flashback of Bronwyn in Lisa's room, and she says, because I didn't feel super close to you, there was a conversation that was had and not nice things were said. So Lisa says, I want to know what was said about me in that conversation, and rightfully so. So Bronwyn, I just mentioned a few minutes ago that you've been clicking down for quite some time, but to see that clip of you going into Lisa's room after you guys ripped her a new asshole, and then you're trying to throw Whitney and Angie and Heather under the bus like that, talking about, oh yeah, we did talk about you, but I wanted to come to you first. Miss Mamas, I see through you. And what you're doing is trying to clear your name, but yet you want to get everybody else in trouble, twist up what they said to make it like you're innocent. And then for you to act like you're so noble because you're going to Lisa first, that's not how you do things. And Bronwyn, my issue with you is that the low self-esteem is showing, because on one hand, you say that you're not going to take Lisa's mess and, I don't care. But then in the next breath, you're going to her room, pleading your case, trying to get her approval. Which one is it? And that's one of my main issues with everybody on this show. They claim that they can't stand Lisa, but at the same time, they want her approval. And before anybody says, well, I don't understand it, what's so great about Lisa, where they just, they can't, they need her approval. I've told you guys many times that Lisa is who a lot of these women want to be. They think that Lisa is really cool and she's herself. Even though she's self-centered, self-absorbed, they love that she's open about it. And you can say what you want, but Lisa is, she's authentic. She's authentically her, whether you like her or you hate her. And these other girls can't say the same. And I feel like they envy her coolness, her aloofness, and they want that for themselves. And because of that, they love her, but they hate her at the same time. And it causes this weird tension because of that. But Bronwyn, you looked ridiculous going to her room and saying, oh yeah, girl, we were talking about you, but I want to apologize. Who does that? And what really pisses me off is the fact that you went by yourself. You didn't go with Whitney and Angie because you're a coward. You're a coward. And we're going to talk more about that, but I don't respect you. I'm not here for this game that you're playing. I don't like it. And she needs to be in therapy. For the life of me, I don't know why they feel the need to worship at the altar of Lisa. No way in the world would I even want to be close to someone like her. I understand that, but you have to understand a lot of these women don't have self-esteem, and Lisa Barlow is the epitome of high self-esteem. She's a cool girl. Think about it. A lot of these girls did not grow up cool in high school, and they still crave that high school validation. And Lisa reminds them of what they did not have in high school. So that's why they cling to her so tightly, because they look at her as the head cheerleader, the popular girl that they never were. So that's really all this is. It's really a mix of they weren't cool in high school, Lisa was, and they want to be around that. That's what it is. I couldn't believe she did that. Yeah, I think that Bronwyn needs to really check herself and her motives for why she's moving this way. But Bronwyn, I've been looking at you funny since the whole camp day, because you running your mouth in that car with Lisa and Meredith. I said, girl, why are you doing this? And then for you to be so shocked when they got on you, I said, well, that's why. Keep your mouth shut. Bronwyn is falling out with everybody in this group. She's not loyal to anybody. That's her problem. And Bronwyn, my thing with you is you're going to end up on an island all by yourself. And it's sounding like at this reunion that you were really the odd man out and they don't like you. And I wouldn't be surprised if you end up quitting because you can't take the backlash. And then on top of that, I also wouldn't be surprised if you do come back next season that you end up not being able to film with anybody because they can't stand you. And it doesn't work. You will lose your job if they don't film with you. So you need to come correct, build up some alliances, stop betraying everybody's trust, and just be cool. Like you're moving really funny. It's looking real funny in the light. Bronwyn goes with the wind. Exactly. It's not a good look. So now we have so Lisa says the only way to get to the bottom of what was said is if I get everybody in one place. So now Lisa sends a text that they're going ATVing, so get ready. And now we flip to a quick scene with Mary. She's in her room getting dressed for the day. And she says that normally on a trip, she calls her son to check up on him. But this time she can't do that because he's in rehab. So she says, while it's like torture that she can't call him, she does feel a bit at ease that he is getting the help that he needs. And again, I'm happy to hear that Rob Jr. is in rehab. Mary has said that he's doing a lot better. So I hope that that's the case. I hope that he's on a better path. And again, Mary, it's a small price to pay to know that your son is going to be a lot better off in the long run. But I'm happy to hear that, things are going well with Rob in the rehab center. So thank God for that. And we're going to be talking about Miss Karen going to rehab to skip out on the reunion in the next video. Okay, so just stay tuned about that, because I already know somebody's going to ask me in the chat, will I talk about Karen Huger? And yes, I will. So now we get to Meredith and Heather. They're in Heather's room. I thought it was cute. They're both in these matching tennis dresses. Meredith is in blue, Heather's in green. So Meredith says, I want to check in because I thought that last night was really odd. What's going on with Britney? So she says her behavior towards me is weird. She kept asking me throughout dinner, how am I feeling? And I feel like something was off. So she goes on to say that the implications of Britney's statements make it seem like she has an eating disorder or that she's emotionally unstable and it needs to stop. Now, one thing about Miss Meredith is going to always give you that soap opera realness, because I said, Meredith, girl, just calm down. Yes, I understand that Britney was trying to insinuate that something was going on with you, but let's not drag this out. But Meredith, Can't help herself. So we're going to be getting her dramatics and theatrics all throughout the episode. Karen, oh, child, you said Karen with her. We're going to talk about Karen. Don't worry. The next video, we will be talking about Miss Karen Huger. Don't you worry. Meredith was pushing for a storyline. Child, Meredith has been a flop this entire season. Meredith has been giving friend of energy with no concrete storyline. And then we've gotten a lot of dramatic moments. But Meredith belongs on a soap opera. Where is her daytime Emmy? Where is her Golden Globe? Like, where is it? Because she will carry. But anyhow, she goes on to say that before they went to bed last night, Britney approached her asking her if she needed a sleeping pill. And Meredith says, I don't want anything from you. I don't take sleeping pills, maybe 2 times a year on an international flight. Meredith, it's no shade. But Miss Mamas, with that vocal fry of yours, you definitely give a Xanax tea, okay? Like, we don't have to lie, honey. Like, Meredith gives you very much Xanax, okay? And it's no shade. But I'm not believing this whole talk about you only take a sleeping pill 2 times a year on an international flight. And you yourself have said that you fly international all the time because you're a woman of the world. So for you to say that, you only fly internationally twice and that's the only time you take a sleeping pill, I'm not buying that because you're well traveled. You're always on the go. So again, girl, I'm like, Meredith, you're making yourself look a bit guilty because you're saying things that nobody else was thinking. Now, I will say in the last episode, when we talked about Britney saying all that stuff about, oh, are you okay? And I heard her throwing up. My mind did go to an eating disorder. But other than that, that's where it started and stopped. For you to add on this other stuff about how Britney's implying that you're bulimic and that you're emotionally unstable, I'm like, nobody has said that but you. I'm sorry, Meredith, but you're doing a lot. I wouldn't even address this. I would not even give Britney that sort of power to freak out about some stupid comments that she's made, in my opinion. Yes, very much high anxiety behavior. I agree. Hey, DM Rocks, thank you for the super chat. Hey, I didn't like how Meredith was screaming and pointing her fingers at Britney, and I bet she wouldn't do that to Mary or Angie. Oh, we know that Meredith would not do that to Mary or Angie. She knows better. But I think that Meredith was doing a lot. We'll talk more about that later on. Well, actually, in a few minutes in the Sprinter van. But I do feel like Meredith is always looking for that dramatic moment. I think that ever since she had that iconic line of, you can leave when they were at that dinner table in Palm Springs last season. I think that Meredith really, that moment went to her head and now she wants to recreate that every single time. And I'm like, Meredith, girl, it's cute 1 time, 2 times, but every single time you're going crazy, you're lashing out, telling somebody to leave. It's enough already. It becomes a bit of, overkill, in my humble opinion. But I agree with you that it was a bit much for her to point her fingers at Britney's face because if somebody did that to her, she'd be livid. Yeah, Angie can read. Yep, they don't respect Aunt Britney. They don't. Meredith is always telling people to leave. It's hilarious to me. Yes, this show loves trying to recreate a catchphrase. Yes. So now Meredith says that it seems like everybody thinks it's okay to talk about me behind my back and intimate things that are not true. So she says she's not okay with that. Then she adds that she threw Angie out of her bat mitzvah in support of Britney. And for Britney to do this to her, she's upset. She says for her to intimate that I have an eating disorder or that I'm unstable because I was on the phone crying to my husband, I have no idea what her intentions are, but I'm going to find out. Now, Meredith, didn't you say in the last episode that you were crying on the phone to your husband about the slut shaming? So how do we go from you were crying about slut shaming to now you were crying about something else to your husband? Meredith has a lot of stories. She has more stories than a comic book. I never took it as she had an eating disorder. I thought she was crying so much that she threw up. Oh, yeah, that's a good point too. I can see that as well. Yes, honey, she forgot her lie. I don't go up for many white women, but Meredith, she's so funny. I can't take her serious. Yup, Meredith is worried that Britney heard what she was fighting with Seth about. Exactly. That was a reach for Meredith. No one was insinuating that she had an eating disorder. She knows darn well what she meant about crying to the point of dry heaving. Yes. So now it's time for the ladies to head on out to go ATVing. And now they're on the Sprinter van. So when I tell you, we get right into the drama because we have Bronwyn trying to joke around and Lisa interrupts and says, look, I have a few questions. Bronwyn told me something last night that you guys had a conversation about me. What did you guys say? So, child, I said, why did Lisa say that? Because it's about to be a hot mess. And of course it was. So Angie, one thing I love about Angie is never going to back down from the drama. So Angie says, well, what did Bronwyn bring up? So Bronwyn says, well, after dinner, I went into Lisa's room to check up on her because she was crying. I said, Bronwyn, the behavior is giving teacher's pet, kiss ass, because the way y'all were getting on Lisa at that table and then all of a sudden, oh, I want to check on her because she was crying. Stop it. Bronwyn, like a lot of y'all have said, you blow with the wind and it's not a good look. You're looking very two-faced. You look unstable because 1 minute is I can't stand her. The next minute, well, I want to check on her. Which one is it? You're doing too much and it's not landing. So now she goes on to say that she was upset with how the conversation went when she was talking about her marriage on the boat and they were not in a good place. So she goes on to say that we all talked about it. She says that we talked about if you were defending me or not. So then she says that Angie said maybe because everybody is mad at me that Lisa made this up. So when they played the clip, the flashback of when Bronwyn, Angie, Whitney, and Heather were at lunch talking about what happened at the boat, Angie never said anything about Lisa did not believe Bronwyn's story. Angie said to her, oh, do you think that, for some reason she just, she said for some reason she wasn't really she didn't take it as serious as you did. For some reason, I don't know. And then Bronwyn goes on to ask Angie, oh, do you think that she did not believe me? And Angie did not say anything back. She just made a face. So Bronwyn, for you to now flip it like Angie was the one who said that Lisa did not support Bronwyn, that's not what Angie said. You sat up there and straight up lied. And I love how Angie called you out and said, I did not say that. And Bronwyn, that's another issue that I have with you, because if you were so transparent as you claim, you would have called Whitney and Angie into the room and you guys would have all told Lisa what was said earlier that day. But you lied to make yourself feel better because you're scared that Whitney and Angie are going to throw you under the bus. That's all it is. Bronwyn lied to Lisa and embellished that whole story. She did. I think Bronwyn told Lisa because she was afraid the other girls would throw her under the bus, especially lying, desperate Heather. The other girls were just mad she beat them to it. She puts words in people's mouths. I hate that Bronwyn makes me side with Heather. She does. Hey, yeah, I'm side-eyeing Bronwyn hard because Bronwyn, there was no reason for you to go and tell Lisa anything, especially when you told the story wrong. Whitney and Heather were the ones who said stuff about Lisa. Exactly. And Heather backed up Angie. I don't think there was anything to even go back and talk to her about. Exactly. It's just like, what are we doing here? They brought up the infidelity. Yes, they did bring up the infidelity. But for Bronwyn to lie and say that Angie said that Lisa thought that Bronwyn was lying, that's not what Angie said. All Angie said was, I don't know if she took your story as serious as we all did. And then Bronwyn said, oh, do you think that she's lying? Do you think that she thinks that I'm lying? And then Angie didn't say anything after that. She just made a face. And then Bronwyn sat up there and putting extra words in people's mouths like that. It's not cool. I don't trust her. She could have told Lisa I was not feeling okay with the boat and leave it at that. Exactly. So now, Bronwyn goes on to say that she always wants to be transparent. And Angie's like, what do you mean transparent? I think it's time for Todd to buy you a dictionary. I said, oh, girl, clock it. Angie gives you some good shade. So now Angie says, let's back it up for a minute. You didn't feel supported by everybody. That's how this whole thing started. So Bronwyn cops to it that she did say that. And then she goes on to say that she felt like Lisa and Meredith were less supportive. So now you have Meredith jumping in and she says, well, that's offensive, but I'm sorry that you feel that way. And now Lisa starts yelling. So, of course, you have Lisa talking about, the point is, you guys talked to her about me and said that I called her a liar. So now they're like, that's not what happened. And again, Bronwyn, you brought this on yourself because you're sitting up there twisting up stories. And now you have Lisa hollering about being called a liar. And that's not what happened. So now Whitney jumps in and she's like, Lisa, if you would just shut the F up for a minute and let somebody else talk, because you're doing a lot right now. You're not the only one who's allowed to speak. Like, let us speak and tell the story. So now you have Lisa saying that, Whitney needs to shut the F up. Then she says, that's why I call you trash mouth. And now you have Lisa saying that she probably should have waited to bring this up. And I said, girl, you think? I would not have brought this up in a Sprinter van, but that's how you guys seem to do. Y'all love to fight it out on a Sprinter van. So here we are. Lisa throwing that shade about she's tired of hearing Whitney talk. Somebody give her a gag. Because I'm sure she uses one with Justin. I said, Lisa, girl, please. So now we have Whitney and Lisa going back and forth. And now Angie, and mind you, while they're yelling at each other, we see Britney recording them going at it. And she's not discreet about it either. Angie catches her and she says, wait a minute, guys, can I just say, Britney, please stop recording us. When I tell you this was like a bloodbath, it was 6 versus 1. The way everybody tore Britney up. Britney, girl, you were better off just sitting there and staring out the window. I don't know what possessed you to get your phone out and start recording them. Very weirdo behavior, but they tagged your ass real good. Child. So Angie's like, girl, stop recording us. We have Britney lying. This is lie number 1. She says, I'm not recording you. I'm sending a video to my daughter, Olivia, because she got 100% on her math test. They're like, baby, you will not sit up here and lie to us talking about you're sending a video to your daughter. Like, stop. We know that you're recording us fighting. You need to delete whatever you have and just stop being a weirdo. So now they're like, well, show us your phone then. So Britney's still lying. Now we have Meredith saying, let's see the video. And now Angie says, girl, swipe to the left like you do on Tinder and then press play. I said, somebody please give Angie her propers because Miss Mamas knows how to read. Aside from Mary, Angie is the second best reader on this cast, period. So child, they're all telling her, please play the video for us. And now we have Meredith giving us her famous theatrics. Let me try and imitate Meredith, all right? Meredith's veins are popping out her forehead. And she's like, you need to leave. I've had enough of you. The way Meredith was hollering at the back of that van. So now you have Britney talking about it was an accident. They're all like, no, it wasn't. Angie says, take accountability. So now Lisa's like, did you post this anywhere? Britney says no. So Heather's like, this is the worst invasion of our privacy. We're deeply traumatized by what happened last year, a friendship betrayal. And of course, she's talking about Miss Monica Garcia, what she did, we know that whole entire thing. We don't need to rehash it. But Heather is deeply offended by this because of what went down. So Britney says, there's a trigger here, so look through all my videos then. And they are all whacking her one by one. But Miss Meredith stood out to me the most because Meredith was on 20. Oh, you said Meredith had an immense heat for everybody but Seth. Oop, clock it. So now you have Meredith saying, clearly we see who has issues and it's not me. Britney changes her story once again. So now you have Bronwyn talking about, listen up, Steve Jobs. I said, wait, I said not Steve Jobs. So now Meredith is screaming again. She's like, I am disgusted with you. I had you in my house. So Mary's talking about, get her, Meredith. I had tears streaming down my face at this point because it was just so beautiful. It was chef's kiss. So now you have Britney talking about she had no idea. They're all like, girl, just say sorry. It's not that big of a deal. Just say sorry. So now you have Heather saying, Meredith says she's a vile individual. So Heather's like, Britney effed up. And now Heather says that she feels embarrassed and ashamed that she ever brought Britney into this friend group. So now Meredith goes on to say that Britney discussed her. Meredith Marks, come to the front. I'm going to need you to get your behind on a soap opera right now. I don't know if General Hospital is still on, The Days of Our Lives, get on a telenovela, something. I need you to be on a soap opera right now. If you should ever get fired from Bravo anytime soon, I need you to go right down to ABC, CBS, wherever, and get your behind on a soap opera. Because the theatrics, I mean, the pointing and the shouting, and you utterly disgust me. I said, girl, this is gold. Mary knows how to put a battery pack in her friend. She does. Oh my God. Yes, Young and the Restless is calling. Hit up Eileen Davidson. Yes. I don't know if it's just me, but I'm over Britney. Get her off my TV. Meredith needs to get on a soap opera and off of Housewives. Yes. Meredith Lucci. I'm screaming. So now we have Lisa telling Britney that she will never trust her again. She says, I will always worry that you're recording me. And now they arrive to go ATVing. Now, mind you, Britney gets off that van first, and the way they wore her out, she is sobbing. I mean, she's like dry heaving at one point. It's that bad. They're all watching her. And even Whitney says, did Britney F up? Yes. But that is a lot to have 6 people against you like that, screaming at you. That's a lot even for us. And I said, y'all, don't be mad at me. I'm not going to hold you guys. But even though Britney gets on my last good nerve, and I think that she is a weirdo, my heart, I felt bad for her because she was she was so shaken up. She's like, I'm just so sorry. And I had no idea. Like, I actually really felt bad for her. Meredith and Quad must have gone to the same drama school. Oh my gosh. Quad needs to get on a Tyler Perry production like yesterday, because Quad is going to always give you some dramatic ass monologue. I know, I really felt bad for Britney. I'm not going to hold you. So we have Whitney checking on her, and Whitney's like, are you okay? And Britney says, I'm so sorry. I don't have bad intentions. And Whitney says, okay, girl, that's fine. But what were your intentions filming the back of the seat? So we have Britney in her confessional still lying. And the producer calls her out and she says, but you have to admit that that's weird for you to record the back of a seat. Like, what's the point? So now you have Britney saying that I only recorded for 1 second. Child, production played the tapes right back. And we see that Britney recorded the back of the seat for like over 25 seconds. I said, Britney, girl, let me just hold your hand. You need help. Britney needs to go and see the lady like yesterday. And girl, you know I have a BetterHelp code. You can use it, get 10% off because girl, there's something not quite right. You're not, I feel sorry for you. But you have Britney saying that she was trying to record her face to tell her daughter that she loves her and she's proud of her. Now, why would you be trying to record a video while there are people in the background fighting? Just be honest and say that you were recording them to be messy and you wanted to play it afterwards, but don't sit up here and say that you were trying to take a video for your daughter. Like, stop. So now we have Whitney saying, well, how do we know if you didn't send it and then delete it? So Britney says, well, go through my deleted videos. And Whitney's like, you know that you can delete your deleted videos. So Whitney's like, I feel bad for her, but I'm not buying this story that she can't flip a camera around because yes, she can. So Whitney's like, look, girl, it's time for us to go ATVing. I'm not trying to sit up here and console you all day. Let's go. Like, dry your tears. Enough of that. So now they get into the ATVs and it's only 2 people per ATV for safety reasons. And we see Heather and Britney have to ride together and Heather is not happy. She was trying to ride with the cool girls and now she's stuck with the liar. Now, wait, let me just say this, right? Heather, I find it a bit comical that you have all this smoke for Britney lying when you lied for over a year about that black eye. You were willing to let production take the fall in order to keep the lie that that it wasn't Jen who punched you out. So I think that since you're also known to be a liar yourself, you need to have a lot of grace for Britney. Because 1, you did bring her on the show. That was your good friend, correct? And 2, you know a whole lot about lying and deceiving because you did it for over a season and a half. You sat up there and said that you were drunk and you banged your eye in the door. You said that you banged your eye on the faucet while you're washing your face. Then you said that you were trying to allude that production socked you in the eye. Baby, you could have gotten somebody fired. You could have gotten someone from production fired because I'm sure that Andy did an investigation asking around about what happened to her. You were playing with folks' livelihoods and their jobs. So I understand that, yes, Britney is a weirdo and there was no reason for her to record you guys. Let's not act like you didn't do a lot worse because, baby, you could have gotten the whole show canceled by your antics. You could have gotten your own self fired. So, Miss Mamas, I would have a bit more compassion for Britney because you guys are one and the same. Y'all are both liars. So not too much on Britney when you did the same thing. You only told the truth because you knew that Monica had your tea about that. Monica was the only one who knew that it was actually Jen Shaw who punched you out like that. And you were worried that she was going to expose you. So you said, let me come clean first before she does it. So again, girl, not too much. Yes, Britney is weird. And, she's a lot of stuff with her too. But you're also not innocent as well. I think we all knew Jen punched Heather, messing with their good coin. Exactly. Yeah, she could have gotten the show canceled. No, she really could have. 2 peas in a pod. All I can do is shake my head cracking up at Britney. She brings the shit on herself. I love her though. Ciao. Birds of a feather. Exactly. I wouldn't trust Heather as far as I can throw her. Heather would still ride Jen when she's out of prison and she gets asked back. Exactly. No, because what we're not going to do is act like Heather's past is wiped clean because Heather has proven that she'll lie and say whatever. So not too much on Britney because you're in the same boat with her. Now, so they're in their ATVs driving. Now I'm not gonna hold you guys. I was a bit nervous for them when they had to ride over that bridge. I was like, Lord have mercy, Jesus, get them over this bridge safely because my heart was pounding out of my chest just watching that. I would have been scared. But now they cross the bridge, and now they're in the water. We see Britney and them swimming. Lisa's talking to the other ladies, and she says, I wonder if Britney thinks that by jumping into the water, we're going to forget what she just did, recording us on the van. So Angie says, it's so crazy how quick she bounces back. And now we have Lisa saying that she feels like Britney lives in a parallel universe. And we see Britney off to the side. She's just by herself, feeling really dejected because nobody else is speaking to her. So now it's time for lunch. They're all drinking margaritas. When I tell you, I was shocked to see Mary drinking a margarita, because we know that Mary is a pastor and she only is caught drinking wine, champagne, and then that one time she did have beer when they were in Milwaukee earlier this season. But we've never seen Mary drink like hard liquor, right? So to see her drinking some tequila, I said, okay, Mary, come through. But they're all drinking those margaritas. The food looked really good. My mouth was watering. And now we have Mary starting it up. She's like, Britney, babe, why are you so quiet? So Britney says that she's just internalizing everything. And Mary, when I tell you, Mary is so shady. Mary does not give one single F, because she says, oh, what are you internalizing? The part where you got caught? Oh my gosh, Mary is too much. So we're right back on the topic of Britney recording them. And Heather says, first things first, it's a violation of trust. Then she says, I've supported and defended you. And I said, again, Heather, I would sit this conversation out, because you need to be happy that nobody's jumping on you for your antics. Because again, that whole black eye lie situation that you did, you could have had everybody's job in jeopardy. So you violated everybody's trust. You violated the viewers' trust because you lied to us. You told us in the season 3 reunion that, again, it was, she banged it on it, banged her eye on a faucet, all this stuff. So you're also a liar as well. So not too much on she violated the trust. You also violated the trust too. You broke everybody's trust. You broke Andy Cohen's trust. You broke the audience's trust. So again, sis, I would sit this out. I would sit there and eat my food if I were you. Just my 2 cents. Hey, Monique Johnson, thank you for the super chat. Mary said times is hard. She's going through enough. So she's going to have her some mess to go along with her margarita. Yes. She said, honey, let me get some Casamigos in this system, okay? So now, Britney says that she was filming the scenery. Britney, at some point, it's time to come clean and just apologize and admit what you've done. You look crazy. Like Lisa pointed out, you've already changed this story 4 times. First, you said you were sending a video to your daughter. Now you're talking about you were filming the scenery. You're not doing yourself any favors. The lies have got to end. So now you have Meredith asking, do you think that this is a joke? Because it feels like you're starting all these things with people. And she says, let's be clear, you are a liar. So now we have Britney is trying to get the attention off of her by saying, there is one thing that I have not come clean about. So I'm waiting for Britney to talk about, I don't know, maybe something happened to her, that's brought her to this point where she's recording people. I don't know what I was expecting for her to say, but what she said next, I was like, are you serious right now? Britney says, I haven't been truthful about one thing on this trip, and that is Jared and I do have a physical relationship. We are having sex. Britney, what does that have to do with the price of tea in China? What are we talking about? Mary's reaction was my reaction. Mary said, girl, what? What are we talking about here? That's nothing to do with you recording us. Also, Britney, we all knew that. We're not dumb. Anybody acting like that over this man who's rejected you several times, I know he was digging you down. Like, because you're not acting like that if there was no sex involved. I'm so sorry, but your actions clearly show that you guys have done, you guys are doing it all the time, and it's so good that your mind is gone. And that's why you keep coming back for more rejection. You're not telling us anything that we did not know. And this whole admission about you guys sleeping together was so stupid. It had nothing to do with anything. I'm like, are you all right? Hey, Monique Johnson, thank you for the super chat. Not gonna lie, I commend Britney for how she got them people off of her. They fell right for her. No, well, no, they didn't fall for it because Mary wasn't here for it. They were all like, girl, that's deflecting. I don't think that they fell for it. I think that they just realized that Britney's not going to tell the truth. So let's just humor her and just go on with it. But I don't think that anybody fell for it. I think that they saw right through her that this was a deflection tactic to get them off of her. But I don't think that anybody fell for it. Yes, exactly. We all knew that they were zipping it and zooing it. Exactly. My ass would have gotten up and left after that because I'm overhearing about Jared. Exactly. Yes. Very much digmatized. Exactly. It's just like, what are we doing? What in the world are we doing? We don't care. Britney's deflection was iconic. But when I tell you another person who deflected, I meant to say this earlier on in the recap, but let's talk about how Bronwyn was happy when they all got on Britney in the Sprinter van, because the way they were about to get into Bronwyn's behind, and because Britney was caught filming them, they all got off of her. But I know that you could tell that Bronwyn was like, oh my gosh, thank you, Lord, they're not on me, because they were about to get on her terribly for that. But Miss Bronwyn, we're going to get on you again later on, but you need to be thanking God and thanking Britney that Britney was pulling a stupid move recording them, because they were about to get you on that Sprinter van. Yup, Britney was doing she was doing backflips when they hopped on Britney. Oh, that she was so happy. She was ecstatic. She was like, oh yes, they're off of me now. Yup, Angie stuck a pin in that one. She sure did. Yes, the way Bronwyn was so happy. I saw it too. Oh, she was so happy. Oh, this chat, listen. These chats are these chats are everything, okay? Legendary. Y'all are always in rare form and I enjoy it. Don't you think Bronwyn having the most to answer and having a 1-season fall from grace that she should have had the first seat? Yeah, I agree with that. I do think that she should have had the first seed. I was surprised that it went to Lisa and Angie. I was surprised. I thought that Bronwyn. I thought it was going to be Bronwyn and Angie. No, Bronwyn and Lisa as first chairs. But Angie did a great job this season too. But yeah, I was a bit surprised that Bronwyn did not get the first seat. Hey, Ms. Dubar 007, thank you for the super chat. So now we have Britney's crying about, the truth coming out that she's having sex with Jared. So she says it's a big deal to talk about this. Now we have Heather saying that she wants to hold Britney's hand because this is like coming out of the closet. It's a huge deal. Says it's a lot of shame growing up Latter-day Saints. That's what Mormonism is called, right? Mormonism, like the Church of Latter-day Saints, LDS, that's what that stands for. If anybody's Mormon in the chat, let me know. But Britney goes on to say that she has 2 brothers who are bishops. She has nieces who look up to her. No idea how much this means to come out and say that she is having premarital sex. Says that saying this out loud is going to change my life forever. So now she's sobbing. I want to choose my words carefully. I don't want to speak out of turn. It just seems like there's a lot that goes on in the Mormon church. I'm gonna leave it there, but it just seems like a lot of people in the Mormon religion have a lot of hangups about stuff. And that's a sad way to live. Britney, respectfully, I feel like your nieces and your family and your brothers all know that you are sleeping with your boyfriend. I don't think that anybody's surprised about that or really cares. Child, I don't know. It's just a lot. It's a lot. I don't know. I have so many thoughts, but I can't really articulate it the way I want to because I don't want to offend anybody. I don't want to talk out of turn. So I'm gonna just leave it there. But yeah, I'm gonna just leave it there. I don't want to say anything that's like, I don't want to offend anybody. So, but I just feel like in that religion, it's like you really can't do, like, you can't do anything. I mean, there's so much, it seems like everybody feels shame. Nobody feels free to be who they are. I mean, oh, woo. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel sad, and I just feel, I'm just like, also Britney said in an earlier episode that her dad is dating 8 women since her mother passed away. So I'm like, I don't believe for a minute that her dad is being abstinent or saving himself. I'm sure that he's sleeping with some of those women, if not all of them. I don't know. Child. No religion is taking caffeine from me. No, ma'am. They can't have tea or coffee, can't drink. Child. My sister was studying the Mormon religion. When I showed her this show, she was shocked but laughing. My wife grew up in LDS. It's a bizarre place. It's very cultish. I think that people use religion to put others down when it's supposed to be good and faithful. What a shame. It's not supposed to be this way. Yeah. I worked with clients in Utah a few years ago. I learned so much about the LDS culture. It's no joke. I think she should be more ashamed. Oh, can we talk about this for a minute? Talk about it. I think she should be more ashamed of not having a real relationship with her 2 daughters instead of worrying about who she's sleeping with. Thank you. I think that's cause for tears and shame and guilt. The fact that she's a deadbeat mother, I think she should be crying more about that. I agree with that. And again, I don't think that anybody in the church or in her family thinks that she's not sleeping with Jared. And I'm also confused by this one thing. Britney, when you got on the show, you knew that they would show you drinking and partying. Isn't that frowned on in the religion too? So if they're going to be mad at you for sleeping with your boyfriend, they're also going to be mad at you for drinking alcohol on camera and also partying, right? So shouldn't you be worried about that too? I don't know. It's just, no, Mary's church is not LDS. Mary's church is just Christian. She's Christian. She's not Mormon. Thank you again for the super chat. Thank you, Daryl Norman. Thank you for the super chat. Mary was funny as hell, saying Britney deserved that as she ran off the Sprinter van crying. Yeah, Mary did not care. Mary was just like, girl, bye. Like, let her cry. I don't give a damn. It is what it is. Unfortunately, I don't think that she genuinely cares to build a bond with her kids. High body count, hair, low brain cell count. Britney's priorities are not straight. Where is a spreadsheet for your visitation schedule with your daughters? Yes. Mary's church is Pentecostal in nature. Yes. Thank you. She cares more about men than her children. Yes. Patriarchy and religion make her value men more than her children. So now we have Britney crying. Whitney says, I understand it because I was shamed by the church when I left the church because I was having an affair with Justin. We all know how they got together. Whitney and Justin both cheated on their spouses with each other. So now she says, but what did you think that people were going to think when they saw you drinking and wearing red lingerie on camera? And again, I have the same questions as Whitney because Britney, the church and the whole Mormon community sees you on camera drinking margaritas, partying, cursing. So I don't know if that qualifies as good Mormon behavior. So I'm just confused as why you're so upset about them finding out that you're sleeping with Jared when you do all this other stuff. I don't know, child. Britney, I need you to get some help. That's really the long and the short of it. Hey, Cody, thank you for the super chat. Her ex-husband horribly, abused her. The divorce docs were posted on Reddit and they stopped talking to her because she allowed, oh, wow. I didn't know any of this. I have been asking, now which one? Now which ex-husband? Because she's been married twice. Was it the first ex-husband or the second ex-husband? Because I know that the second ex-husband's kids came out saying that she was an awful stepmother to them. They were on TikTok. Her former stepdaughters came out saying that Britney was like a horrible stepmother. She was very self-centered. They were so happy when their father divorced her. So yeah, is this the first ex-husband who did this to her or the second one? Wait, I think she means the daughters. Oh, wait a second. Oh, he did that to the daughters? And she allowed that? Is that what you guys are saying to me? It was the second ex-husband. Oh man. Oh, well, that makes it damn. That makes it worse. Wow, that's really crazy. Britney, you need to get off this show and get into a therapist's office and really repair your relationship with your daughters. I don't understand why you're placing so much stock into what the church thinks about you. You need to worry more about what your daughters think about you versus what the folks in the church think. Like, in my opinion, that's really sad. Don't the daughters live with the ex-husband? I think that they live with the first ex-husband because the first ex-husband is who she had the girls with, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, Britney, this is horrible to think about. Are we sure Britney wasn't also a victim? Maybe that's why they don't rock with her, because the ex-husband was putting his hands on them. Just when I couldn't think any less of her. No, really, Britney needs to go see the lady. This is terrible. They live with their dad. Okay, so they live with the first ex-husband, their dad. Okay, got it. Thank you guys for the clarification. Overall, Britney needs to stop worrying about men and boyfriends and sex and worry about getting back with her daughters, because this is unacceptable. Britney, you classify as a deadbeat parent in my eyes. Britney is goofy. Say what you want about Mary. You'll never see her drunk on camera or cursing. Brit, live your life. Brit might have joined the show as a way to force herself to let this all air out. I could see that. Oh, yeah, I could see that. But no, I think that, well, no, Britney was trying to be an actress and a singer. So I think that Britney got on this show to boost her career. I don't think that she cares about airing out her trauma and getting help. I think that Britney is using this as a platform to become famous and a star. That's what I think, honestly. I don't think that Britney has a capacity to really care that deeply. So now, and also, may I just say one more thing? And I feel like this goes across any religion, right? I feel like if somebody's been divorced multiple times and they're at a certain age, Britney is almost 50 years old. I think it's a bit goofy and unrealistic to expect that somebody who's 45, 46, 47 with a boyfriend or a girlfriend is not sleeping with them. Let's be so for real right now. Again, that goes across any religion. So, it's a bit goofy if her family and the church members think that she's not sleeping with this man. Like, let's stop. Let's stop being delusional. Deadbeat parents should never be given this type of platform to boost their career. She's trash. Britney's very talented. Her voice is like a real life Disney princess. She's an ex-theater kid. She's here for attention. Yes, because if you go on her Instagram, she's always singing. She's singing the Wicked, the songs on Wicked, all the show tunes. Miss Mamas is trying to get famous again. Yeah, let's be so for real. Nobody thought that they weren't. Exactly. Britney's going to have a rough reunion. They said that Britney showed her entire behind at the reunion too. That they said that it was so bad, it was clear that she was trying to do the most to secure her spot for next season. Unless you're Stacey and TJ. Well, of course, that's a special case because TJ's not into Stacey. We have, Heather telling her sob story about how the church views her as nothing with no value. Now, I've seen on Reddit that, now you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but they've said that Heather has not been all the way truthful about her whole story. They've said that her family actually does speak to her and that people really haven't shunned her like the way she's making it out to be, and that it's all a sob story for attention and to sell books. And I believe that. I do believe that. But, Heather says that her neighbors are Mormon, her whole family's Mormon, and, nobody looks at her in the same way. And I'm just like, okay, Heather, I don't know if I'm buying that, but okay. So now we have Bronwyn sharing her story. And she says the rejection and the shame that people put on her when she got pregnant. She says she understands Britney and how she feels, but she says that Britney has got to stop internalizing the pain. Now, Bronwyn, I appreciate you trying to give somebody a pep talk, but I don't think that you're in a place to give somebody that advice. It's clear that Bronwyn still has a lot of trauma from what happened to her when she got pregnant, 19 years ago. I don't think that Bronwyn is over that. So Bronwyn trying to give somebody advice on how to be free and love yourself. Bronwyn, in all seriousness, I'm not being rude when I say this, but I don't see all the self-love that you're talking about. The way you cower in fear, the way you resort to acting like a child when you're around your own husband. I don't know if I believe that you have all this self-esteem and you've learned to get over what happened to you. I think that you're very much in that trauma and that shame of what happened in your past. Yeah, she's the last person to give advice. I agree. And I also feel like Bronwyn carries a lot of that shame and embarrassment of not being cool, being ostracized. Another reason why she clings to Lisa Barlow, because she views Lisa as the ultimate cool girl. Lisa does not care what people think about her. Lisa is still able to have, community in the Mormon church and outside of the church. And I think that Bronwyn envies that along with the rest of the women on this cast. But all in all, Bronwyn is not, in my humble opinion, Bronwyn is not healthy enough to me to give advice to somebody else dealing with the same thing. I do not think that Bronwyn's self-esteem is together at all, because the way she deals with her own husband, she wants his approval, his validation. She said that she views him as a father figure versus a husband, and his approval means everything to her. She even said on the boat in the last episode that she loves him more than he loves her. And that's crazy on several levels. But I'm sorry, Bronwyn, I don't believe that you're in a place to give anybody, especially Britney, in this advice. You guys are in the same boat, if you ask me. The only difference with you is that you're a great mom to your daughter, whereas Britney's a deadbeat. But in my opinion, other than that, I don't see any difference between you and Britney. You guys are two sides of the same coin. Lisa, to me, does her religion correctly, because for any religion, you just need to take the practices and apply to your life. That's another conversation. Listen, yes, okay. I don't want to get offensive to anybody, but I do agree with. I do think that Lisa. I agree with that sentiment. Yes. That's why Lisa does not have any shame and guilt the way the other women do. Yeah, let's just move on. But yes, that comment, Lisa, yeah. But now we see Britney. No, we see Heather saying that they're all that Britney cannot record them, and that they're only vulnerable with each other because nobody else understands them the way that they do. So Britney apologizes, and then Heather says, I don't think that you have a mean bone in your body, but you did mess up. Now, here's what got me. Britney does apologize to Meredith, and Meredith is not here for it. She's just like, okay, girl, you know, like whatever. But yeah, Miss Meredith said, baby, the way that you tried to lie on me and say that I had an eating disorder and you're talking about I need a sleeping pill, I'm not here for it. So just move on. Hey, Aviva Lauren, thank you for the super chat. Oh, for the super sticker. Thank you. I don't know if Lisa has a whole liquor line and Brittany's crying about drinking liquor on screen. Do you, I guess. Exactly. Lisa is a total hypocrite. Brooke biting her tongue. I think Bronwyn is finally seeing the light with Lisa. Unfortunately, it was a little too late for her season 1. I think she'll course correct for season 2. I think it's a mix of that, but I also think that Bronwyn's insecurities are getting the best of her, and she's scrambling at this point. I think that Bronwyn has lost the plot and does not know how to play the Housewives game correctly. I think she started off strong, and now she's just like flailing in the wind. I need Bronwyn to really get it together and be loyal to somebody, have an ally, stop going back and telling what other people said. It's not a good look. I do feel that Bronwyn, and somebody made a great point on Twitter. Somebody said that the real issue with Bronwyn is that she's upset that Lisa is not enamored by her because she's so wealthy and her and Todd have this glamorous life. And I sort of made that comparison, and forgive me, but I made a comparison to Monique and Giselle on Potomac, where if you go back and you rewatch the earlier seasons, you can tell that Monique thought that her being the richest one on the cast was going to have everybody so enamored and that they would just fall in line and be in a trance. And that's not what happened. Charisse thought that she was a social climber. Giselle didn't like her. And I'm not saying that there wasn't some jealousy there with some of the ladies, but overall, the ladies were not impressed by Monique. And Monique thought that they would be impressed by her. And remember that episode when her pastor came on and checked her and said, you thought that these women would be impressed by what you have, and they're not. And that's why you lashed out the way you did. And he was correct. But the same thing applies to Bronwyn. I think that Bronwyn has a bit of shell shock that the women overall are not super impressed by her, despite her having a private jet, despite her flying them all out to this gorgeous villa in Palm Springs. They don't really see it for her. And I think that that's a hard pill to swallow when you feel like you're going to come in and dominate and be queen bee. So I think that that's also another area that we haven't really talked about. But yes, I definitely see your point. I agree. But I think that there's so many layers to the whole Bronwyn issue and why she's spiraling now. Maybe, again, maybe I could be wrong. Let me know. I love hearing your thoughts. But I do think that Bronwyn thought that they would all be so impressed by her. And they're just not. Angie and Whitney were seeing it for her. Bronwyn uses money and her dogs to make it seem like she's the ish and everybody else would love her. I think it's due to how she was treated when she got pregnant. They thought she would not make it. That's a great point too. You're right. I see that as well. That's a fabulous point. Her revealing that stuff about her marriage was the final nail in the coffin. Bronwyn said in an interview that she watched herself back and did not like what she saw, so I'm hopeful. Yes, I saw that same interview too. You can tell that Bronwyn is super sensitive to what the fans are saying about her. I get the impression that she's not happy about the fan reception turning on her because a lot of us liked her a lot and now we're like, girl, it's giving weird. So I think that she's really upset by the flip. The tide has definitely turned. I still like Bronwyn. I don't think wealth is Bronwyn's issue with the girls. You preaching now, Brooke. That's why Monique didn't need Chris anymore. He got her nowhere with the ladies. Bronwyn's roller coaster for her first season. I wish some of them would stop competing to be Lisa's BFF. It happens every season. They make her the main character by default. But we know why. We know the reason for that. The reason is that these women have low self-esteem. She's the cool girl. They want to be cool. They weren't cool at any point in their lives, and they're trying to live vicariously through her. That's the long and the short of it. And until they heal themselves, they're going to always put Lisa on a pedestal. Until there's healing, Lisa is always going to be number one, and she's going to always live rent-free in their brains. I can't stand Lisa. She's a narcissist. They give Lisa way too much power. If they had sense, they'd form an alliance against her. Yeah, but it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen until they're able to heal that broken piece, heal that self-esteem up, that they're not going to be able to see clearly. Lisa is going to always have prime real estate in their brains. You know how in Monopoly, the best property is Boardwalk and Park Place. Lisa is Boardwalk and Park Place to these ladies. She's it. She's the girl. Until they come to terms with why they feel that way, until they heal that part that needs validation, they're going to always view her in that light. So now they do some shopping at the market. They have a cute time. And now they're back at the resort getting ready for dinner. We see Angie and Mary in the bathroom. Angie's helping Mary out with her hair. And I love how, they have such a cute friendship. Now, hold on. Because in the preview for the finale episode, we see Mary and Angie crying. Angie's talking about, you don't trust me or something like that. Or Mary says that you broke my trust. I said, don't tell me that Mary and Angie are about to fall apart. Like, I will literally be in tears. I said, I don't know what they get into it about, but Lord, I hope that it's a small little argument that that they gloss over. But I was really upset to see that. But overall, I do love their friendship, and I really hope that nothing and nobody gets in between them. And I really hope and pray that Angie did not reveal what Mary told her in confidence in the finale. I'm like, is that what it is? I hope that's not the case. Fingers crossed. So we have Meredith and Heather getting ready. So Meredith is still on this whole thing about Britney hearing her while she was in her room the night before. And she says, I just need to ask something. Heather, have you heard me in my room? So Heather says, no, it's been like a sanctuary. So now Meredith says that she's been going through the whole thing in her mind. And she says, the other night I had a coughing attack, which she might have confused as me throwing up. So then she goes on to say that she might have heard the whole conversation with my husband then, and she feels unsettled. And especially since Britney recorded them on the bus. Now Meredith is giving very much, what's that phrase? It's like an old Shakespearean quote, thou dost protest too much. That's what this is giving, Meredith, because we're off all that. It feels like you might have had a really rough conversation with Seth that you really hope that nobody heard. Maybe you were talking about marital issues or crying about, I don't know, money. I don't know. But for you to still go on like this, it's making me wonder, what were you talking about that has you this concerned? Because I know if it were me, let's say I'm having a private conversation, we're on vacation, you happen to hear it. If you heard it, it is what it is. I can't do anything about that. And if you choose to expose it, then so be it. And me and you will have it out then, because it's like, girl, why would you do that? But at the end of the day, you can't control what she heard or didn't hear. It is what it is, Miss Mamas. But it's making me think that, are things rocky again between you and Seth? Because you lied at the dinner table saying that you cried about the slut shaming that Angie did. And now it's like, well, I had a very private conversation with my husband and I was crying. So now I'm like, were you bitching and moaning about how he's never home? He's always in Ohio. Were you talking about, again, marital issues? Like, what's tea? Because now I'm giving you a side eye, like something isn't quite right because you're just a bit too nervous about something that should not be an issue. You guys already settled it at lunch. Britney apologized. Let's move on. Why are we still talking about this? Whatever Meredith is on is making her extra paranoid. Meredith came for Angie's marriage. Now look at her. Yes, Britney said she was sleeping and was woken up by Meredith, which is suspicious, but it's also not that deep. Exactly. It's not that deep. Meredith is always giving unhinged soap opera star as always. I think the money is shaky. Big Lots is going out of business. She won't cry for him, but for status. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Seth is like the SVP at Big Lots and they're going out of business soon. So maybe she was crying about that. But yeah, Meredith, it's not that deep. So you have Meredith saying, do you think that she's recording? Do you think that she left something in my room? Like she left a device in my room to record me? I said, now, Meredith, come on. Now that's a reach. Britney might be many things, but I highly doubt that Britney spent good money to bug your room. Like we're doing a bit too much here. And I wish that Heather would have said, okay, girl, like that's a reach. Like, what are we doing here? You have Heather going along with it. They're searching the room. I said, y'all both look really silly. I was over it. I said, okay, Meredith, enough is enough. Meredith will be fine money-wise. Her dad is loaded. Yeah, no, Meredith comes from a rich family. I'm not concerned. I'm not worried about Meredith's money at all. I think that she'll always be good. But I just feel like this whole stuff is just extra with her saying, does she bug my room? Meredith, you're not that entertaining. Like Mary said later on, for anybody to want to wiretap your room. Stop. Yeah, Mary was like, she is too boring for that. Exactly. So now we get to the restaurant, and when I tell y'all the food looks so good, a lot of them ordered steaks. They ordered filet mignon. You guys know I'm a steak and potatoes girl, so I was just salivating watching them dig into that food. And you know it's good when even Mary is chomping. Mary was chomping down like that was her last meal. I was like, Mary, it's good, isn't it? So now, as they're eating, Angie says, I want to address what happened on the Sprinter van earlier because things went left because Britney became the topic. But Bronwyn, I'm back on your behind. I know Bronwyn was sitting there like, oh, like, here we go. So she says that I feel like I did not get to address the conversation. And now she says, Bronwyn, what you did was messy and it did not come out clearly. So she says, I don't know what's weirder. The fact that you didn't come out, the fact that you said it and went running to Lisa, or the fact that you put Whitney and I in a bad situation and Heather too. So Bronwyn's like, no, I did not. So she says, I didn't run to Lisa about you guys. I ran to Lisa about the issues that I had between her and myself. Now, Bronwyn, that's not true. Because when we saw that clip that played earlier in this episode, you said out of your own mouth, I was upset and me, Whitney, Angie, and Heather had a conversation about you where some not nice things were said. You threw them all under the bus. So for you to say, oh no, we didn't talk about you, I didn't say anything about you, it was about me and Lisa's issues, stop lying. I said, I'm so sorry, Bronwyn, but this, yes, is giving very much loser behavior. I was so over it. I was too over it. I said, Bronwyn, you're not being honest. So now Angie says, but you did this at my expense. So now Bronwyn says, whether I did it to be nefarious. And now I was screaming because Angie and Whitney are like, wait, what does that word mean? So you have Heather interrupting and she says, it means, nefarious, up to no good, like sneaky, giving them the definition. So now Whitney says, honestly, Bronwyn, it feels like you felt guilty about something that was said in that conversation, and you ran to Lisa to clear your name before we had a chance to say anything. And Whitney, I got to give you your props. When you're right, you're right. That's exactly what it was. Bronwyn was trying to get ahead of the story before you guys were able to, and she threw you under the bus and twisted up your words. So now Bronwyn says, no, I did not. That's not what happened. And Whitney says, well, I think it's convenient that you waited for us to be gone. And again, while Whitney's not my favorite person, when she's right, she's right. Bronwyn, you were dead wrong for what you did. So now Bronwyn says that it has nothing to do with them. It was about her and Lisa getting on the same page. So they pretty much get off of the whole conversation. And now Meredith jumps in to question Britney some more. So she says, I have a question. It doesn't add up to me. I've been in the villa now for several days, and I've never heard anything coming out of the adjoining rooms next to me. And by the way, I did not throw up. I said, Meredith, let this go. You're making yourself look guilty and suspicious. Everybody's off of it. Nobody thinks that you have a disorder or anything. Like, please let the mouse go, in the words of Sutton Strack. Why do you keep harping on this? Meredith goes on to say that, so Meredith says, why would I not start? She says, I find it perplexing that I have not heard anything from your room or Heather's room. So now Britney's like, I have no idea what you're trying to get at right now. And Meredith says, I've been the only one supporting you until you came for me like a raging beast. I said, girl, not a beast. Meredith, take your behind with Eileen Davidson, please. Child, I'm laughing so much I'm choking. Call up Eileen Davidson, please, because you need to get on a soap opera. And I remember how Kim Richards called Eileen Davidson in Amsterdam a beast, and Eileen was like, a beast? How dare you? Yes, that's exactly what Eileen said. Oh my gosh. Yes, the lady doth protest too much. There's something going on with Meredith, because I don't know why she's so upset. Let this go. Yes, call Eileen Davidson back, please. So now you have Meredith asking her, did you put a recording device in my room? So Britney says, that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. And now you have Meredith interrupt her, and she says, answer the question. It's a yes or no. Did you put a device in my room? And Britney says no. Mary said what we all thought. Mary says, there's no benefit of Britney putting a device in Meredith's room. Meredith is boring. No offense, but she is not the most fun person in the world. And I said, now, Mary, you better say that, because Meredith and that vocal fry, is cute for an episode or two. But yeah, Meredith is a wet blanket. Like, Meredith is not the most entertaining on this cast. She's only entertaining when she gets riled up and gives us an unhinged soap opera moment. But other than that, there's really not much else. She's not, that monotone voice. We don't really get much from her. So for her to act like, she's so interesting that we want to spy on her or put a device in her room, it's a bit delusional. Hey, Andreas DeWolf, thank you for the super chat. The best Britney can do is one of those baby monitors. Yes. That van scene was bonkers. Meredith is unhinged. Jesus, I clutched my pearls. Yep. Yeah. Somebody said that everybody in that family has the same vocal fry except for Seth. And it's true. So now Britney says, this is absurd. Like, I did not do that. And now Lisa's like, girl, it's enough. It's time for us to go back to the resort. Now, is it just me? But does anybody else miss the days of the older seasons when they used to be on vacation and they would party after dinner? They would go to a local club. Can we please bring that back? Because I'm getting tired of these vacations where they go out to dinner and then it's right to bed. Can we see some more club scenes, please? Because what's the point? Y'all don't want to go out? I know I love going out. And if I were on one of these shows, I'd be going out even more. So I don't know. I don't understand why we can't get any more club scenes after these dinners, especially on vacation. They always want to fight before they get a chance to eat. Brooke, they're probably tired. Supposedly there's bugging equipment in Britney's luggage. Oh, there is? I want to see some Tootsie rolling. Why did I think of Funky Dineva? Because he always says that. These ladies are too old for that. Production budget cuts. Production can't afford for a night out at a club, but they can afford a 5-star vacation? I'm confused. Or walk around the town, show more. Kathy Hilton and the DJ ruined that, I guess. Oh, with that whole mess in Aspen. Yeah, well, I'm sorry. If it were me, production would be upset with me because I would say, y'all have fun. I'm going to the club. Because I would not be going back to the hotel room at 10 o'clock. That's too early. I want to be out. They can party without production. Yeah, well, you've seen the iPhone footage before. Exactly. And there's not a club at this resort? Because, yeah, the resort is really nice. It's pretty. These are older women past their clubbing days. But listen, though, these women, they like to party because at BravoCon, they're up and out. Like, I don't know. I'm not buying that. I feel like they love, and some of them especially really, really love to party. Like Tamra on OC, like they love to go out. Vicky still loves to go out. So I'm not buying that because they're older, that they're past their clubbing days. They like to go out and have some fun. Kyle doing the splits, exactly. So as they're going back to the resort, they're in golf carts. So we see Meredith, Angie K, Mary, and Heather in one golf cart together. And Angie brings up the whole Bronwyn situation, the conversation that was had with Lisa. So Angie says that whole Bronwyn thing got blown out of proportion. Was anything bad even said that day? So Heather says, no, nothing bad was said. All we said was that Lisa and Meredith were the only ones who took Todd's side. That's it. So Meredith is asking, what could I have done to be more supportive? And she says, I asked her a question and I asked if that might be a problem. What was said about me? So Heather says, Meredith, we said that you know about tumultuous marriages and it's better to keep quiet. Who cares? Let's go back to the rooms. Like, it's not that deep. So as they're walking back to their rooms, Meredith is upset by what Heather just said. And she's like, I never said that. That's a very loaded statement. And then she says, stop trying to imply stuff is going on in my marriage when they aren't. So now she addresses Heather as they're walking to their rooms. And she says, Heather, can I ask you something? Did you say that Bronwyn did not feel my support because I co-signed emotional affairs, or did I misunderstand you? So Heather says, you misunderstood because that's not what I said. So Heather's trying to make a joke about, before we go back to our rooms, let's test something out. We have bugs to search for. And now Meredith is like, you guys can do what you want, but I want to hear more about what was said about me. I believe that it's projection. My husband and I were separated. And she's yelling at Heather at this point. Meredith, it's no shade, but I feel like these last 2 minutes of this episode, you lost me. I didn't know what you were talking about. I feel like you went off the deep end. I said, girl, let this go. Nobody said anything of the sort. Why are you making this a bigger issue? And you can tell that Meredith still feels a way about what happened earlier when the show first came on, when her and Seth were going through that separation and they were seeing other people. You can tell that she still gets upset anytime anybody brings that up, because for her to, the way she lashed out in these last 2 minutes, it was weird. It didn't make any sense. Was anybody else confused? Hey, Barb, thank you for the super sticker. Thank you. Something is clearly going on in Meredith's marriage. It is. I think it was deep that what they said is not okay for Whitney or any of them to say that she was in an affair, specifically coming from Whitney. Well, I kind of feel like Whitney would be the best one to speak on anybody having an affair, because she's admitted that her and Justin got together because they both cheated on their spouses. If anybody's going to talk about it, at least let a cheater talk about it. No, yes. But I do get your point. I think Meredith and Seth are having problems in their marriage. Yeah, I agree with that. Yes, it's weird, Meredith and Seth's relationship. Meredith was higher than Cooter Brown because there's something going on in her marriage. Heather straight up lied and downplayed what they said. What they said is that Meredith and Lisa are also cheaters. Yes, Heather was not truthful about what she said the day before when she was talking to Bronwyn, Angie, and Whitney. You're right about that. Heather is not being honest. However, I do feel like Meredith lashes out anytime they speak about her marriage, because I do feel like they still have issues with Seth not being home. The fact that in the past they were seeing other people, they were on the brink of divorce. So I think that that's a wound that still has not closed up yet for Meredith. But yes, you're right. Heather did lie and downplay, because she did say that Lisa and Meredith were cheaters, and that's why they relate to Todd. She wasn't being honest to Meredith. I think these convos affect her post-nup. Oh, I forgot about that. So now we have Meredith saying that she's going to bed. She's had enough of the lies. Then she says, I don't co-sign on infidelities. Don't tell my story. So Lisa is like, wait, what just happened? I'm so confused. And everybody else is in shock at what Meredith is talking about, because Meredith is going off. So now we close out the episode with Lisa and Meredith in Meredith's room, and Meredith is screaming. She says that she offered up her own experiences and she does not have to open up to anybody about anything. And as she's going off, we have everybody else standing outside listening to Meredith going off in her room. So Mary had me screaming. She says, no wonder Britney heard her. And I said, yeah, Meredith, if you were screaming like that on the phone, I'm pretty sure that everybody heard you then. So Meredith says to Lisa that they're all talking-ish. And then she says that she tells Lisa that Lisa should not open up to anybody in this group because now they weaponize stuff against her. So she says, we know exactly what's going on. I'm sure she can hear me now. It's effing enough. Now, did anybody else yell when we cut to Whitney and Angie K eavesdropping? And when Meredith said that about it's enough, they ran away like kids running away from a spanking. I couldn't stop laughing. I wanted them to show Meredith opening up that door and just like getting a belt out and getting them. The way they ran away like that had me in tears. But y'all, that's where we close out the episode. And now we see that next week is the finale. Y'all, my heart is going to break when we see the finale episode. I'm already getting teary-eyed. I am. I'm gonna miss my Salt Lake City girls. If any franchise deserves a 3-part reunion, it's definitely them, because they have delivered. But I'm curious to see what goes on with this at this reunion with Bronwyn, especially because Bronwyn has been a big disappointment. The constant flip-flopping, It's not a good look. So I really can't wait to see that. I think that Bronwyn's going to be shedding a lot of tears too. I get that impression. And Whitney even said that Bronwyn got pummeled at this reunion. This season has been everything. This was helping with my tiredness from pregnancy. Oh wow! Well, congratulations. I'm happy that this recap could help. Congratulations on your pregnancy. This cast is one of the all-time greats. RHOA better bring it. What Atlanta's coming back in March, they're saying. So we have what, 2 more months? And Atlanta's back on our screens. But yeah, this season has been phenomenal. I'm gonna put "You Need to Leave" on a shirt. I won't be surprised if Meredith is selling "You Can Leave" merch at BravoCon this year. Can we discuss the reunion looks? Yeah, let's talk about it for a minute. I didn't love the best dressed for me, Angie K, the pink gown. She looked pretty. Whitney looked pretty. Bronwyn's gown looked good, but everybody else looked basic. I did not like Meredith's gown. Lisa's gown, I mean, as much as she talks about exclusivity and designers, darling, I just knew that it was going to blow us away. Lisa's gown gave very much David's bridal. It's no shade, but that dress was basic. Very basic. I thought Mary's dress was cute. I don't know. It kind of gave church robe, like a church choir robe. I don't know. I didn't love Mary's dress. Angie, Whitney, and Bronwyn, I like their dresses out of everybody. Can't go wrong in Oscar de la Renta. Exactly. Lisa is such a boring dresser. Lisa always looks basic. Meredith was giving Mother of the Bride. Yes. Mary looked like Wonder Woman. Yes, First Lady of the Church. I like the overall color scheme. In the words of the late great Aretha Franklin, great gowns, beautiful gowns. Mary gave Power Ranger, Hunger Games. Damn. Not high body count dress. We said David's bridal at the same time. Angie's felt like a quinceanera. I like Mary's a little bit. They told Maylee, "Yup, thank you for your services." Maylee wasn't even there. A mess, y'all. Can we talk about Heather's white pimp suit? Yeah, I don't know what she was wearing at this dinner in the last scene of this episode. It was not hitting for me at all. I liked Bronwyn's look and the story behind it. Yeah, Maylee wasn't even there, honey. They relieved Maylee of her duties by episode 4. We never heard from her again. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Maylee. Wait, why did one of y'all say in one of my my last recaps, you said, "Maylee, just go home, baby. That $50 is not worth it." Oh my gosh. Hey Chris, hey C Diggy One, hey Brooke, I'm gonna catch the replay after I finish my live. Yes, you're going live soon too. Y'all check out Chris's SLC live. He's going live at 4, if I believe. But hey Chris, I'm happy to have you in the room. Listen, y'all, the chat is cutting up. But yes, honey, Maylee, girl, there was no point of you ever trying to get on this show in the first place because you fizzled out after the Milwaukee trip. They relieved you of your duties. They gave her her craft services. I don't even know if Maylee got the day rate like Jacqueline's getting on Potomac. I think all she's getting is craft services and a free gas card, and that's about it. And maybe $100 Visa gift card. Oh gosh. You said she got a Target gift card, not even a Visa gift card. Damn. Oh, Maylee wasn't even an extra. Probably didn't even get paid. Damn. She can ride with Jacqueline, Mia's cousin. Not the day rate. Oh, you said a bump it coupon. Damn. And a bottle. Oh, you said she got a bottle of Vita tequila for her services. She can only pump gas with that check. She got a Coke and a smile. You guys are horrible. Hey, happy Saturday. Oh, happy Saturday. Happy Saturday to you too, Carlos. You said getting the Gina treatment. Yes, honey. I'll be an extra for a Target gift card. Yes. Damn, y'all said not Vita tequila. She got a stray from Angie. Damn, you said she got what? What is that? Mad Dog 2020? Oh my goodness, you guys are too funny. BravoCon tickets go on sale in May, if I believe. Yes, May or June. I don't know what production saw in her. I don't know what they saw. She must have brought it at her audition, but she quickly flamed out because I forgot all about her by episode 5. You said a free drink ticket at BravoCon. Damn. Thank you so much. Maylee can go back and return clothes at Nordstrom. Ooh, I know. Well, you know she did. Nordstrom has a very generous return policy. So I've heard. One thing about me, I don't return anything. And I told you guys that in a previous recap. I don't return anything. So if you're a salesperson, all my salespeople out there, if I come into your store, you don't have to worry about me returning anything. I have my stuff. A lot of these, okay, let's talk. A lot of these Real Housewives and them, reality stars on other shows, influencers, they're over here lying to y'all. You'll see them with several pairs of Louboutins, this and that, and they're going right back to the store the next day. Not me, girl. Not me. All my designer pieces, I do not return anything. I don't play that game. If I bought it, you keep your commission. I got you. But a lot of these, they said that Drew, she covers her Christian Louboutins with some material so that way she can take them back to Neiman's and return them, allegedly. Because you know if that red, if any piece of that red is scraped, you're keeping those shoes. They will not take, they don't take them back. It's a mess. A lot of these folks are lying to you. If you see my Louboutins, that red is scraped off because I wear my stuff. A mess. I think it is a disgrace. I think it is a disgrace. It's just like, that's so tacky. Like, I can't stand that. It's tacky. It's cheap. Who does that? You're playing with folks' money. I will never do that. If you see me walk into your store, if you work at a Neiman's, a Saks, a Neiman Marcus, Nordstrom, when I walk in, you don't ever have to worry about me. I do not return anything. You're gonna have a good commission check with me. I got you. I don't play those games. I don't play those games. Yeah, Marlo called her out. Oh, she uses condoms. Well, now you know that's a shame. She uses condoms on her shoes to. They said it, yeah, because Marlo called her out. Marlo said, yeah, girl, that's why you were up in Neiman's taking your shoes back. You wore it for that one day of filming and took them right back. Now, you guys know I don't see it from Marlo Hampton, but I believe that. As materialistic as Marlo is, Marlo knows. Yes, the commission is safe. You better know that. In the words of New York, it's a disgrace to women who are actually classy and fabulous. It is. She's right. If I'm buying luxury, I'm treating myself. Exactly. That's probably why she kept getting injured, slipping on condoms. Y'all have me screaming in this chat today. But y'all, I'm going to get off of here. I had a great time with y'all. I hope you guys have fun with me. We will be back for Potomac. I have a lot to say. I have a lot to say about Karen Huger. the Mia Essence article. So stay tuned for all that. I might just put it all in one recap, okay? But stay tuned. I will talk to you guys later. I hope you guys have fun. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday, and I will see you all later, guys. Bye, y'all. Thank you all for joining me.